Alright guys, BLM here, back with more Persona 5 Strikers. It is nighttime now. Just got home from work not too long ago. It is 11:35. We're going to continue on. We're also going to listen to the roundtable from our,
I don't.
RJP.
She's like, how do you not? Like, we cried over Kiefer. He's like,
Alright, let's go.
I don't know, I just don't feel bad. Just gotta do what we gotta do.
Yeah, we're continuing on.
Like, Ty is a completely different person, and he said it himself. He's like, I sobbed over Kiefer. I just don't even care about Jed. And he's saying this to other people, and they keep saying to Ty, like Kiefer had a conversation with Ty where he's like, man, yeah, you do this to Jed, I guess you'd do it to anyone. And Ty's like, yeah, exactly.
It's like, you don't say that.
Yeah,
Kiefer was like,
Circus, whatever, Circus fine.
I'm feeling like you're gonna come for me.
I did get my schedule for next week, which is not ideal though.
I wouldn't do that.
Essentially, essentially the same as this week. However, on Saturday and Sunday, I come home an hour later. So I won't be home until like probably midnight, which is not going to be ideal, but what are you going to do?
And Kiefer's like, does that mean you're going to come for me? And he's like, because there's like, you logically want to come for me. He's like, I never do that to you, Keith.
Of course not. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
The new
Yeah.
Tomorrow's a big day. Tomorrow, we got 4 episodes of Circle. We got
we saw him crying about Kiefer.
Big Bird Cannon. We got the Challenge Double Agents finale. And a lot of stuff.
A whole 360, and it's like, oh, what? 360 is the same. A whole 180. Yeah, it's the same. A whole 180. I'm like, oh god, what is going on here?
Yeah. I like that.
Has he been?
It's something I kind of forgot about is that I forgot that on Thursday I'm going to get my I forgot that on Thursday I'm going to be getting my second COVID shot. Alright, let's just pause this for a second. Yeah, I forgot about that. So because of that, I kind of worry that okay. That I'm gonna feel terrible by Friday. So I'm actually kind of considering maybe I should just record the 2020 year in gaming video tomorrow instead of Friday. We'll see. We'll see how I feel tomorrow morning. Then I'll decide. Right now I'm kind of unsure. That's something that is in the cards. But yeah.
You were completely in on it.
What's this?
Oh my god,
I don't care.
You were completely pushing for it. When they started to doubt it, you were like, no, we need to do this.
Yeah.
And when Beth was like, I feel bad, you said, don't. You shouldn't feel bad. Like, what do you mean the way they turned on Kiefer?
I wonder, I mean, is the thought that, like, possibly he doesn't feel bad about turning on Jed because this whole time he's been upset about the Beth Jed thing?
That's the only, like, thing I can come up with in my head. That,
right.
like, there's some...
No, I mean, it makes sense.
Like, this doesn't just come out of nowhere. Like,
right,
the
like he's
amount...
pretending to be cool with it, like the Beth and Jed thing, but really the whole time he's been upset.
Because it is a severe level of coldness that has the cold front has approached here out of nowhere, and it really honestly it doesn't even feel cold. It feels a little hot. It feels a little bit like yeah. He's never gonna speak to me again. Like he was having an argument with Brayden. Brayden was like, nah, he'll get over it. He was like, Brayden, shut up. He's never gonna speak to me again. I know it. And Brayden's trying to like soften the blow, like, nah, they're gonna be like, oh, don't be such a baby, you should get over it. And Ty's like, no, listen, Brayden, I know him. It's not gonna happen.
Shit.
It's like, I wonder what's going on.
No. Well, I was only because I feel like I wouldn't even call this a game by Ty, but
why is Panther the only one showing up? That's fucking weird.
Last night we saw his confession when he referred to Jed as the king, and I was just always like, is he threatened by his position in the game since he views him as that like high person? So like, oh, if I
called
knock
Jed
him
the
off,
queen.
I'm like in the clear to, and have a really good shot of winning this game. And so I didn't really think of it as the Beth and Ty, the Beth and Jed relationship, just because I mean they were kissing each other at the same time. And I didn't think like Ty really felt any type of way with Jed and Beth being together. And so I just viewed it as, oh, you use Jed as that top dog, and it's like complete game find now, where he's like, okay, I'm gonna take on the top dog. And
So yeah, I mean, this weekend's gonna be shit, but obviously, hopefully, I'll just make it through.
I know, like, the explanation I see the most is like, oh, well, he knew that Jed would choose Beth over him, and that makes sense for why he would want Beth out, but he actively wanted Jed over Beth. Because, like, it doesn't matter if Jed chooses Beth over him if Beth isn't there. Unless like, just the fact that exists at all would have upset him. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Wait, no, Ryuji's there.
Interesting.
Whatever.
So Ty talked to Beth about it. Beth considered maybe I should do this, and then went.
I did see the stopwatch already. I did make the right move. Kiefer was the only one to go up, but and I did jump up from like 114 or something to like 43, I think it is. So like I made the right move, but still, it's like obviously not enough to. I'm still like $100 or $210, I believe, away from first place. So it's like I'm pretty much out at this point. It's like it sucks. I was so close to being number one. Like just 2 weeks ago, and then Tina fucked me over. But what are you gonna do?
10 minutes before, 5 minutes before the feed's cut.
Wait, where are we going?
Crying, sobbing to Ty, who was sitting there and going, "What are you talking about? Of course I'm voting to keep you. Don't even be like this. It's Beth that you should be nervous about." Like,
Oh God.
Ty's doing way too much in that scenario. When he knows he's about to cut this dude's story, he's leaving to go to the jury, and you're still egging on. You're not even putting any like cushioning down for like your blind side of your epic betrayal of this. You're like, oh, like, you know,
shit, that was my own
1000%
mistake.
Like, no, like at least ease him to the way if he's about to go to jury. It's like,
So is the plan for him to
I didn't mean to do that,
vote
but
on Beth? Like, is that the plan at this point then? It's like he's gonna vote Jed out and then be like, look, I told you not to trust Beth. Look what happened to you. Now you're gone, and Beth was the one that voted you out. I voted to keep you.
it seems like it at this point. Like, I mean, Beth keeps saying like we have to tell him. Well, we're not gonna not tell him. And Ty's like, I guess not. Like she was like, we did that courtesy for V. We did it for Kiefer. We're not gonna not do it for Jed of all people. And he's like, all right.
But I feel like even if that is his like methodology with that, I feel like he's not even doing a great job as pinning it on.
it's like it's so strange how we've gotten to a point where like everyone is playing poorly on the Great Canada. It's like, how the fuck did we get to this point? Like this season's so fucked.
I feel like he's doing a great job at painting that picture towards Janet.
Yeah.
Hey, you know, Beth, you don't want to betray us. I'm like totally solidified in this, and so I feel like, what's the use? Why do this? It's not looking good for you at this point in time.
Yeah.
Let's have a look inside.
It's very strange. I mean, it's amazing. But it's very strange. Like it's kind of like it's like I'm getting a whiplash because like if this was
Where'd she come from? We assume this
Oh
is
yeah, my
another one of
YouTube
the
is kind of going back to normal a bit. I mean, views on the Jeff Probst are still pretty strong. It's at 9,000 views right now. Oh, I forgot tomorrow is my Uncharted video. I completely forgot about that. That comes out tomorrow. Fucking Uncharted video. That's not gonna do well. But, yeah, it's coming out like 2 weeks early, but fuck it. Like, it's coming out 2 weeks early because of everything else that's going on.
Doma? Who was that again?
Oh, so this is one of the other ones? Okay day subscriber-wise, but yeah, revenue-wise, things are starting to stabilize a bit. It's still pretty good. I mean, like, it's solid. But, I do believe I lost pace over the last 28 days. So, slightly.
Sorry, we kind of already knew that.
Well, looks like we'll just have to fight her.
Sure, I guess.
the way the Ty
Oh, shit.
all season long. I feel like
Shit, she just like right into it.
but it's so out of nowhere that I'm like, what?
Maybe it's just a combination of things. I bet it's just a combination of things. Like I feel like it's like the feathers all piling up, and then that one feather, it turns into like a weight, because it's like, I think, you know, probably it certainly didn't help that like Beth chose Jed over him, and there was that whole thing. Probably he didn't like love that, but was like learning to deal with it or whatever. But then it's like when he's talking to Kiefer and he's starting to realize that like Beth and Jed will choose each other. They're, you know, each other's best allies, and you know, even him recently in the DR saying, you know, like Jacob said that it was the queen and the king. And then I also think probably the fact that Jed used the veto on Beth probably made him not so thrilled, just because he's like, oh, okay, so like I don't think you would do that for me, but you're doing it for Beth, and also you don't care that I'm possibly going to go on the block. Like Jed doesn't know that Ty is not going on the block. Like at that point, like he's been told by Tara, but it's not confirmed that Ty. He basically is willing to sacrifice Ty to save Beth. And
I mean,
that
Ty was
probably,
trying to convince him to do it, though, is part of the problem.
I don't know. I just feel like it's probably. Well, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out a justification for it. It doesn't make any
Well,
sense.
it's also like the way that Ty talks about Jed too. Like, oh, he's got such a massive ego. He'll definitely buy into this. And like, oh, I know people like Jed. Like he's like he's full of himself. Like. It's almost like he's never
this
liked
game
Jed.
kind of reminds me of Birthplace
And then he's
for
just
some
been
reason. I
pretending
don't know
the whole
why,
time.
but
Like,
for
I
some
don't
reason
even
it kind of
understand. I
reminded
don't
me
even
of
know anymore.
Birthplace.
If I could process
Kingdom Hearts
like
First Place
this,
League.
the savagery made sense to me, I would be a huge fan of it.
Couldn't even
But
tell
since
you
it
why.
came out of nowhere,
But for some reason I'm
and
just
it's
getting that vibe
confusing
from
me
it.
in his wording and what you saying, like
Even though
you're
like
talking
they're
about
not that
Jed, like,
like really.
What?
I just think like in terms of the fact that it's like a dumbed down version of a real Kingdom Hearts game, or like in this case obviously a real Persona game.
Or just wants to, you know, go for the game bot. But it doesn't make sense for all of this to come about.
While also having like a slightly different combat system.
Melissa said, that's the only thing that's like, I can kind of see that, but it's still like, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, like I mean, I guess it maybe honestly the one thing that really stands out to me, or at least the one reason that I can
Oh yeah, I did see that
like,
Anthony Calvert got a new world
position,
record
I
in
guess, is the
Last of
fact
Us.
that he probably
So probably go ahead and watch that
he
at some
and
point.
Jed were like the top two,
That
like
should be
they
fun.
were in it to win it together, and then to hear that probably it's Jed and Beth the whole time, and that the two
Also,
of them will
Lasers
pick
did
each
stream,
other. He probably feels
Persona 5. I kind of skimmed through it. Essentially, what I think his plan is that on Thursday he's going to do a smaller stream, and on Friday he's going to do he's going to finish the game. So I'll probably watch his Friday stream.
He probably thinks that he's already been betrayed, so he can just, it's not really a betrayal if he's just responding. I don't know.
Because that's the thing too. Like Ty keeps saying like you know, you got to take emotion out of it. This is not an emotional decision, but it feels like one based on everything that he's saying, and the fact that it is not really the best decision for Ty's game to have wanted Jed out over Beth, and you can tell by what he's saying. He's like, I cannot win this game if Jed is here. And it's like, what do you? It's Final 6, dude. Like it's one guy who is completely loyal to you, who probably would use the veto on you at the Final 5 or somewhere if he could. And that everybody else in the house, literally everybody else in the house, if Beth is gone, will go after. Like, it's a pretty good spot.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that I can see in Ty's mind with like that whole thing of like, oh, why target him now as Final 6, and he may, I mean, everyone else is targeting him, but I mean, Beth is no slouch at competitions, Jed is no slouch at competitions, and in Ty's mind, it could be like, well, he's on the block, this could be a rarity at this point. I know everyone else is targeting him, but they're good at comps, and so if he's gonna do this, like, honestly, I might as well send him out, so it could be, oh, it's, you know, when people say like, is this too early, or you know,
right.
that type of mentality. So I feel like that, like the timing is like, well, I may never have this time again to target him, so I might as well just pack it on right now. That's the only equation I could have why Ty would want to do this. It's like, no time is kind of perfect, but this will be the only perfect circumstance.
I was literally just thinking that like it's probably a combination of all these things, and then also the fact that like you don't
Like, this
want
part of the song reminds me a
and
lot of the song for Final Fantasy 7
too early,
remake.
and it's like you never really know when the exact right time is, but like he's sitting there on the block.
Yeah.
I really like
Maybe
the song
That's
for
the
Final
thing.
Fantasy
He
7.
wasn't sitting on he had the veto, and Ty went really far out of his way to be like, I need this guy out now so much that I'm gonna trick him into saving the person I should take out.
Look, Taryn,
right
and
call
stop
at
with your
final six.
logic. There's no
Wait,
logic
Taryn,
here.
but I'm still on that same logic of like, like when he won Rito, I'm still on that same logic of Ty like being like, yo, this is my biggest threat to win, and him just being laser focused on that. And like, if I can convince him to stay on the block, I will. Like, if I can get Jed out, and it's just like a laser focused mentality. And it's final, about to go into final 5. They don't know someone else is coming back, and if he's a meat shield, yeah, he's a target, yeah, he's good at comms. But like, this is, I mean, we're not in final 9. I know people can say final 6 is still so early, but in Ty's mind,
Wait, what?
like anything could happen.
Wait, what's going on? Why am I being detected?
Like, if he's on the block, if I can convince him to stay on the block, then I'm gonna load my chopper and I'm just gonna let it spray. And in the, like, you know,
Whatever.
and so I just let, and he being a savage about it, which I don't get that part, but I can understand why he goes with that. Oh, let me just take Jed out right now. And so it's confusing, and even while I was talking, I was still trying to equate my words. I'm like, this doesn't make sense, but I can still sympathize. Is that the right word? I can understand his kind of philosophy that way.
I mean,
You want to play? Download
Just
that.
got an ad out of nowhere.
Is this stuff for your hands or your dishes? Both.
So I'm trying to skip this ad. There we go.
yeah, you can absolutely understand it, but you know, especially with the way that the comps have been going this season, like, I mean, Jed has won 3, Terra has won 2, like Ty has won 1, Kiefer has won 3, like. Jed is not some unbeatable monster in these competitions, right? There are lots of people, and Jed is the biggest target in the game, and like, again, I can see it, but I think that laser focus of Jed needs to go is a huge error, because, again, Ty sees Jed as the queen. Ty sees Jed as the guy that can't be beat, that will beat everyone in the end, but that is not who Jed actually is. Kiefer is that person. Kiefer is the one where all 3 members of the jury so far said, Kiefer is by far my front runner and the person I'm rooting to win, rooting for to win. And Jed is not. In fact, for Ro said Ty probably over Jed. And I think, yeah, Vic said the same thing. Vic said Ty over Jed. It wasn't until Tina that said, oh, Ty definitely below Jed. And in the house, they're saying Ty definitely below Jed. I think that is what will happen, but Kiefer is the real threat. Kiefer is the one that you should be like, I will do everything in my power to get Kiefer out as soon as possible, because Kiefer is the one that is the most dangerous. And Kiefer is somebody that will turn on Ty and will cut Ty, unlike Jed, who wouldn't.
Is lightning their weakness, or do they use lightning?
Game, especially because she's starting to be seen as a goat, and I don't
someone
think
dead?
she is. And so I think he's way too
I
laser
think there's
focused
something
on this
related to
one
lightning.
massive potential threat, but that is not the biggest threat to his game by a large mile. It's the biggest threat to a lot of other people's games, but not his, and that's what you need to focus on when you're in the game.
You bring very logical points. I can't fight you on them. So yeah.
Yes, anyway.
It's hard to know why people are doing any of these moves, just because like they run contrary to like logic. Then it's just like, oh, okay, we can like sit there all
Maybe
we
they
want.
use
Like, well,
lightning.
it's
They must
probably
use
because
lightning.
he's sad that XYZ. It's like, well, we don't really know. Like, we're just making this up. So
Yeah.
I don't know why anyone's making any of these moves.
Yeah. I mean, the fact of the matter is, it's like Jed, Ty have played very similar games. In fact, I would say that Ty has played a better game than Jed. Jed has just won 2 more competitions than Ty at this moment. All Ty really needed to do is win 1 or 2 more competitions, and I think he has a great chance to beat Jed, even in the end, let alone the fact that if Ty actually makes it to the Final 4 with Beth and Kiefer, say, he thinks he can beat Kiefer, it's 3v1. They're all trying to get out Jed. That's not a bad spot for Ty in his own mind, given the fact that he thinks that he's in a good spot. That's actually the best spot for Kiefer, but Ty doesn't know that right now, because again, he's not focused on Kiefer, which he should be. But Kiefer is also like, I don't need Jed in this game either. So, it's so all over the place.
I should write something.
Yeah, you're bringing like great logic to my perspective right now, because even like my scores now, I'm like, like maybe I should dwindle down. Like, they're already horrible for everyone. But like as you continue to talk, because Ty, I mean, we can all kind of see like
They're really
Ty
dragging
wants to
behind,
go
aren't
with
they?
it, but not saying his laser focus should be Jet, but like. It could be a comparison thing as well because they've been playing Jed and Ty have been playing closely
Yeah,
together.
sure.
They have
I kind of want to level them up.
similar connections with the people left in the house, and they've been like associated together in the game. People associate when people say Ty, people say Jed, things like that. And so in Jed and Ty's mind, it can be.
We can't use all of them anyway, can we?
compared to basically are like a lot.
Obviously, can't be
people's
removed.
mind, and Jed has done more outwardly. To like do, he's won more. He's been in a position to put people on the block, and I haven't done that. And even like my mentality when I go into, I haven't played Big Brother, but when I play other games, I sometimes get the mentality of the person standing right next to me. How do I match up with them? And I think in Ty's perspective, he can think.
We're about to get to a fight, and that was a bad decision.
And like his perception could be, well, people will love his bigger moves than my like social game and my way to maneuver these different things. A very like behind the scenes work about. And so be damned if you do, damned if you don't. How about that?
I think the thing that I guess frustrates me on a strategic level, even though I am greatly enjoying the mess, is that there are so many opportunities. Like every time I see a player with an opportunity to gain an advantage, they throw it away. And it's like on one level, that's what's making this season great, is because every time one person or team or alliance, whatever you want to call it, gets a leg up, they go, I don't need this.
Oh, that's what Heist
Even
is.
playing field again. And this
This one.
week should have been the time for Kiefer and Ty to get a massive leg up, getting Beth out of the game. And instead, they threw it away. Then it should have been a great time for Tara and Brayden to get a good leg up on the game, and they threw it away. And it should be a time for Beth to now get a leg up on the game, but she already threw it away at the beginning of the week. And so, who's left? Nobody. Jed, who used the veto on Beth. What is happening? Why can't anyone? Well, I'm going into this final five, and they're all on an even playing field. Literally any one of them can win. It's just a matter of who wins these stupid competitions. And they could all take each other out. You know what I have for the state of the house?
Yeah, actually.
I have a bunch of Final 2 deals. You know how many Final 2 deals? Literally everyone has a Final 2 deal with literally everyone. AKA, there is no state of the house. That's where we're at right now. I started writing them down like
I
it mattered.
want to use Yusuke.
I went, okay, Kiefer and Tara.
I like having Makoto in our party.
Kiefer and Ty.
Ryuji or An is like kind of like the one
Ty
that's
and
like,
Brayden.
does it really
Tara
matter?
and Ty.
Everybody.
Literally everyone with everyone. Except for Beth, who...
No, actually, let's go
No, she has a Final 2 with
Morgana.
everyone too. Never mind. Jed is the only one without Final 2s with everyone. And they're sending him out.
Does Beth have a Final 2 Kiefer?
Stress. You need a massage. You need to.
All right. Well, let's talk about.
Unless she has with Tara, Brayden,
going into
and
next week, 'cause
Ty.
that could matter. So now I want to say this, and I want people to hear it when I say it.
Easier than cleaning a
Take
paint.
this with an entire
Let's go and save it again.
container of salt. Just like open the salt thing. You know the little like you open it and it's like a little slide for salt. Just take that and just guzzle it down because this could
So it's
have
supposed to be
nothing to
here.
do with anything. But Kiefer, Brayden, and Ty have talked about potentially targeting either Tara or Beth. They are recently leaning toward targeting Tara. Kiefer in particular talked about how Beth can't win the game in the end. Wrong.
Yeah.
Less threatening than Tara in competitions. Maybe. And Ty was like, I hadn't thought of that. Yeah, maybe we should target Tara next week. They've talked about it a little more. They talked about it with Brayden, and they've kind of come to the conclusion that maybe they should target Tara next week instead of Beth, and maybe they should take Beth a little bit further. But again, they all have fake final twos with each of themselves. So anytime there's 3 of them in a conversation, they could be lying to the third or thinking that they're lying to the third, but they're the third, or the other person could be the third, and they're lying to somebody. And so when Ty talks to Kiefer about targeting Tara and Beth, Kiefer probably talks to Tara about targeting Braden and Ty, or Beth and Ty, and then Braden talks to Tara about targeting Kiefer and Ty, and then it's who knows is the real answer. But Tara can't compete, and that puts her at a severe disadvantage going into next week. It does look like Tara is probably the most likely person to be evicted in the fake double eviction as of this moment here, Jacob.
It doesn't even equate to my mind. That's why I'm like stumbling over my words. I'm like, but is this the best outcome for them? And it kind of got into, because I went into, this today, thinking, okay, Beth is the target, because everyone was talking about that. And I don't think, if people's mentality with Beth is, she can't win, and I feel like, that kind of increases Beth's rating in my mind. It's like, if people take her to the end, she can talk with her chest and put her pinky out like this.
Tina is a Beth advocate. That's dangerous.
And so I don't think taking Tara out during a double eviction, for me, it's not the move to go with, because I'm not saying it's a weak move, because I don't think anything right now is a weak move, because I think everyone has that equal opportunity to win. But I think it's so many, such bigger targets out there than Tara.
They really think Tara has a better chance of winning than Beth?
Yeah.
Because she took out Jet. They have gone like you know what tunnel vision is? They have burrowed to the center of the earth when it comes to this whole jury thing. Like, Jed is a golden god, and if we don't get rid of him now, he will crush us all with his visions. So we need to get rid of him, and whoever gets rid of him, they're now the golden god. Now we need to get rid of them. Tara's gonna beat us all. She's the one that took out Jet.
It doesn't make any sense.
The one that took out Jet, guys. Jet.
Yeah.
It does not make any sense to me. I don't see that being a good move at all to take out Tara next for these guys. Like, I just feel like they should. I honestly think they should just take out Beth, and then you've got Braden, Kiefer, Tara, and Ty left.
Which, by the way, I did decide to go back all in on Kiefer for next week, and also put my remaining money on Braden just in case.
That's definitely the move if you know that there's a fake double eviction coming, right? Because
at least one of them will go.
If you don't take out Beth and Jed beats Tara, then we are now, and this is, again, I think at this point in time, the most likely outcome is Jed gets evicted on Thursday night, then Tara gets evicted, then Jed beats Tara to come back into the game. They redo the Final 5 HOH, and it's Jed and Beth versus 2 other people in the Final 4 HOH. And they're coming back at Ty with a vengeance.
Oh, God. It's like, yeah. Oh, man. This fake double is really throwing things off.
It's really throwing everything off.
Yeah, like, I feel like my whole analysis is just like...
Yeah. So,
Let's open it.
now, again, at this point in time, you have to take it with all of the salt in the world, because who knows what they will actually do in the moment. I think the fact that it's
in a hacking
hurts
thing?
Beth more than it hurts Tara, because Beth is the more default option, and Tara is the more sort of like, ooh, we're kind of stabbing Tara in the back option. And so because of that, with a little time to think about it, it may just default. But the default, I think, will be Beth and Tara on the block. So obviously if Beth wins, then Tara's auto gone, unless somebody takes a shot at Kiefer or Ty at that point. I think Braden should not be leaving as long as he stays in the first eviction. But if Beth and Tara are on the block at the end of the double eviction, then at that point they might be like, okay, so what do we want to do? Do we actually send Beth out, or do we take the shot at Tara? Because right now it seems like Tara is the more isolated or insulated player who has a bigger resume and is better at competitions. And so that's what they're starting to look at. But if they don't know it's a fake double eviction, if they do know if it's a fake double eviction, it's 1,000% Beth. If they don't know it's a fake double eviction, which I imagine they won't, then they don't know about that incentive. They may still take out Beth. but they may not because they really do see Terra as a big threat at this point.
Yeah, how'd she get help?
And
Someone heal her?
that, if Jed ends up the first round, they can end up thinking things like, oh, Beth is kind of alone, like her boyfriend just left, we kind of take her in as my number 2. I can see each person kind of thinking that way, even though Beth is kind of like, F all of y'all, and it's like going towards that $100,000. But I can see that also playing into my, and also,
Wait, when did I change persona?
Tara, I always call her Tara.
What was this part?
Tara has, I feel like, she's one POV.
There we go, that's what I need.
I can see her if she is.
Why was I not using
like
it?
a far-fetched, mindset, but I can honestly see her winning the battle back because I can see her taking the competition.
No, let's actually wait here. Just defender.
Tara's in game, just winning the comps. With a terrifying HOH behind the wheel, who's taking a trip to the block?
So annoying. Terrifying.
So if Jed leaves, Terra goes, Jed returns. We're looking at probably 2v2 with Beth on Jed's side at that point in time. If Terra returns, then it's still probably 2v2 at that point because it'll be Beth and Terra who will probably team up, having been both on the block together just a second ago, versus the other, Brayden and Kiefer, or Brayden and Ty, or Team Kiefer and Ty, depending on who it is. And the question then becomes, who is targeted after the return? If it's Terra and Beth, I think they probably both go after either Kiefer or Ty. And if Kiefer and Ty are on the block, who knows which one goes at that point? I don't know. It could also depend on who just won that big double and put up Beth and Terra. If that was Brayden or Ty or Kiefer, then that could really influence them to target that person over the other two. And the thing is that, Brayden, Ty, and Kiefer are not one entity unto themselves either. They're all also not loyal to one another and to anybody. They're all just individual players at this point, which is exciting, but difficult to analyze. So it could be all over the place here.
Say something similar.
If Beth goes home and Jed comes back, it's a much better spot because they can just take out the person who just came back in as long as they beat them, right? So if Jed returns, then it's 3v1. If Beth returns, it's still 3v1 because Tara still feels like she's on board. Probably, but maybe not. Who knows at that point? With Jed, if it's Jed versus the house with Beth not there, it's easy. Jed is still the target. If Beth returns, I could then see, depending on who won the HOH, again, her teaming, trying to team up with Tara if she won. If Tara won,
Oh fuck, I keep on forgetting. Fuck. Okay, wait, let's just pause this for a second. I keep on doing that where I hear the music of the games, the combat starting. I'm thinking this isn't a turn. This is still a turn-based game. Oh fuck.
So, again, when I say that this house is just a mess, and that there's things lying all over the floor, this is what I mean. There's so many different, over the next, in terms of who goes home,
Do I not have any good attacks? I really don't. Holy shit.
In the next HOH reign. Those are 4 separate events, and there are multiple outcomes that are possible for all 4 events, and they get exponentially more difficult to predict as each one happens. I think that out of everyone, Brayden is probably the safest, but also the least likely to win. And then, literally, I could see every single one of them leaving. I could see every single one of them coming back. I could see every single one of them being in a good spot, every single one of them being in a bad spot. And so, with that being said, are we ready to talk about the stop fight?
No, what are you doing, game? Fuck, I had an all-out attack.
Let's do it.
Alright, let's bring it up here. Oh boy. Oh gosh.
I thought last week was bad, and now I'm like,
Wait, what? That's a special attack? That's pretty badass.
we were too kind.
Alright, so let's start with Beth. Okay, so last week she got an average of a 5. This week, it's strange, right? Because Beth is the person who
Oh, he's weak
benefits
to ice?
most
Oh, shit.
from being saved by Jed and Jed going home, as long as she manages to
It
survive.
feels like everyone's
the
weak to
game,
ice in
which
this
she
fucking
might
palace.
not. But if this whole thing with Tara is true and they go after Tara, then Beth could become a front runner to win the game, which is weird. But here's the thing. We are grading,
Alright.
not unilaterally.
Something
We're
I
not
think we
saying,
should
hey,
do.
if you're a front runner
I
to
don't
win,
think we should
you're
have more
9.
Gon in our
No,
party.
that's
I
not
should
how
because
it
like we have a lot of fire and
works.
wind
You're a front runner
attacks
to win
as
and be a
Ren.
3
So I
in
think
this
maybe
house.
we should go for
So,
either Haru or
you do not get
Ryuji.
extra points in the worst week of strategic Big Brother history.
I think maybe.
Yeah.
And what Beth did at the start of this week, it was so disastrous for her game. She crashed the goodwill of everyone that she had a relationship with in the house. She very nearly got herself sent home, and if not for the grace of Jed using the veto on her, which had nothing to do with her in the first
So after
place,
this, we'll go try to find a save
other
point and
people.
end.
What are Tide
And we'll
and
do
Beth
another
doing
episode
lying
also.
together right now on the feeds? That's disturbing. Anyway, they're all cuddled up in a bed together right now.
Oh boy.
It looks like this score
Bitcoin, the best money we've ever had. With a different kind of money comes a different kind of
You
card.
probably got this by cheating too.
Look at this date.
Oh no, Ty, get out!
Yeah, Ty, if you're planning on taking out Jed, this is not the time to be doing this. Like, this is not it.
Can't win an award just by ripping people off.
Horrific gameplay by Beth, but
The gameplay by everyone.
again, I think I need to continue to make this point, which is that there are 6 players left in this game right now. One of them has to win.
Yeah.
They could do everything in their power to try to stop it from happening, but one of them
Someone will win.
have to win. And that does not mean that that they did a good job, or that they are doing a good job. So with that being said, for me, I have to put Beth at a 3.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
She did a terrible job at the beginning of this week. Should be going home right now. It's by the grace of Jed using that veto, and she still could be one of the bigger targets going into next
That's some
week.
bullshit.
And she just has such an uphill battle ahead of her. She has no relationships yet left in the game at this point. It's 3 from me as for a person that I think could still absolutely win this game. Where are we at right now? Melissa, tell me what you think about that.
Oh, yeah, I feel like it's one of those things where if we're following like the trajectory of the week, it's like it starts out bad because she kind of just blows everything up by just
Sure, for sure off, right?
and then
Not very
you know
close.
she ends up on the block. That's bad too. But then she gets saved. That's good. But then Jed might go home. That's bad for her because that's her strongest
Ooh,
ally.
that's pretty
And then
good.
she's like, alienated herself. That's not good. And so it's
That's
like.
whatever.
It's
That's
one of
fine.
those things where it kind of goes up and down for me. I would say that she's definitely in a worse off position this week than she was last week because, now she's probably going to lose her strongest ally.
Wait, when did we get him?
And even if she doesn't lose Jed, I do feel like she's in a bad
Wait, when did we
position
get all
among the rest
these?
of the
What the
people in
fuck?
the house. But I think overall, because she is for sure safe this week, I feel decent about her ability moving forward.
Oh shit.
Yeah, this is tough. I'm gonna give her a 4.
Let me get to the save point.
I think just because she was able to get, not that she did this, but Jed did use the veto on her, and so she is going to be staying, and she can claw her way out.
Alright, we'll end here.
And
I think we'll
do
probably
that
start
she
next
has,
episode with doing some
she has some
management of
social
some things.
ability, I do believe, and I do think that she will be able to figure something out, even if Jed leaves.
Next episode, continue on. For now,
All right,
thanks for watching.
I do want to point out. I think that